think is the message that Democrats want to hear, as opposed to maybe when you started, when you changed it?
Well, I think since, we've been doing this in Marietta County for, right? And we're talking to everybody. People want someone to not sit on their hands anymore. They want leadership. They want someone that's actually going to stand up and fight for what we believe in and as Iowans. And I think that's what people want to hear is they want to know who's going to be that person that's going to fight for us. Who's that person that's going to say, you know what, we're not going to keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. So I think that's what people want more than anything is somebody that is not going to come out with the same talking points, the same stuff. They want something different and they want something to fight for.
You've traveled the full state now, Nathan. You talked a lot about income inequality. What have you seen with your own eyes in terms of the income inequality that we have in the state of Iowa?
With my own eyes, or like, I've seen my friends crumble into mental health crisis, drug abuse, alcoholism. I've seen people who've come to us and go, you know what, I don't know how I'm going to make it anymore in this world because I depend on Medicaid, and we're getting the cuts on our rural hospitals. I'm not going to be able to drive 3 hours when our hospital closes down. With my own eyes, I've seen a lot of people come up and just looking for some sort of hope. That's the reality of the world we live in. It seems like a lot of people are either two things, fearful or angry. They're fearful at the world that we're in and we don't have the leadership to guide us, and they're angry because it seems like nobody's doing anything. So the average age of the first-time homebuyer is 38 years old, right? And most of us know, most of the young kids coming out know that the idea for them to buy a house is out of this picture. A lot of people come up when they said they weren't going to cut Medicaid. They cut Medicaid, so now they're worried about Social Security. That's the reality for a lot of people across the state that we've talked to. It's either fear or anger. It's a combination of both. And it's why I'm trying to stop doing the same thing. I'm trying to fight. I'm trying to represent people that are just struggling in this position.
We're headed maybe to another government shutdown, and there's some talk about maybe Democrats voting for a government funding bill in exchange for a short-term extension of the Obamacare health insurance premium subsidies. Is that a deal you think Democrats should take?
That's an interesting deal. I think that's a tactic that Democrats should start to be utilizing. We saw it from Mitch McConnell himself, how to obstruct and how to slow things down, and how to make the government come to a grind to work for Republicans. I think that's what Democrats should be trying to do, is make it work for Democrats. I think the world we're living in is not working for a lot of people, so we got to come up with options and fighting tactics, and that could be one of them that could work for us.
When you started, you kind of assumed that Joni Ernst was so now that you have a different potential opponent.
Same votes, same crap, same mega, same. Well, she's more of a Fox News wannabe. Just the same rhetoric, the same. Oh, now we're going to get rid of birthright citizenship. Same crazy stuff that you see. Same off-the-wall stuff. Same votes. Same not representing Iowans, representing billionaires. Iowa continues to crumble, and our democracy continues to crumble because people like her are voting the way they're voting and not fighting for people they're supposed to represent. So to me, it's the same thing. It's just different days.
A few weeks ago, you spoke in Clear Lake at the Surf Ballroom. That's just a couple of hours from the Twin Cities, where Melissa Hortman, the Speaker of the Minnesota House, was gunned down, or actually stabbed, murdered in her home. There at the beginning of that event, there was a kind of an in memoriam for her. You remember that right before the candidate spoke. But she's in a way been largely forgotten. Whereas Charlie Kirk, after his assassination, he's a martyr, and she's somebody who a lot of people, when they say, oh, but there was a shooting in Minnesota, they can't come up with her name. Do you think that's fair?
I don't know if it's fair. I feel like the world we live in is a reflection of our leadership. When you have leadership at the top that is dividing us instead of calming things down and bringing and representing us the way we should be represented, that's what that is, and it's sad. It's extremely sad for me because, and it's sad for the families, it's sad for anybody who's ever lost a loved one, especially to gun violence. It's sad. I don't like saying this or that when it comes to it, because in the end, it's all the same. It's gun violence, it's political violence. It's all should not be happening in America. We should have freedom of speech. We should be able to say what we want to say and say the things that need to be said without worrying about a random shot ringing out. And I think it's just the state of the world we're in right now. It's sad because we don't have the leadership to make it better.
Why do you think Charlie Kirk's getting more attention, his death, than Melissa Hortman?
I think that's getting more attention because the right and the Republicans are giving it more attention and trying to make it more than what it is. And they don't want to seem at the time, human to the other side. I think in general, like the same day Charlie got shot is the same day we had another school shooting, but we didn't talk about that. We're talking about Charlie because that's what the media and what we want to do. At the end of the day, it's sad regardless. Nobody should be gunned down in America, and that's all we're seeing, and I'm tired of it. And I think at the end of the day, we need powerful leadership to stand up and say enough's enough. We need to stop being divided on things and start coming together as people.
Do you think that involves passing more gun control?
Yeah, I think that we can look at something needs to be done. Like, we're not doing anything. We're doing the same thing over and over and being like, oh, what happened? We need to do something different. We need to stand up and actually say, no, this is not okay. And it just seems like all we're doing is blaming each other, finger pointing and saying, they're the ones that said this, they're the ones that said that. But nothing's actually getting done. It's just the same crap.
The Johnson County supervisor has declined to lower the flag.
Does John Green? Yeah.
Yes. Do you think that's an appropriate take for Johnson County?
I don't know. I think it's interesting that we're lowering the flags for someone that wasn't military, someone that, was just a, I don't know, he's a pundit. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It's interesting. The situation is in total interesting. The governor declared, let's drop the flags half-mast. If he wants to stand up and he wants to use his authority to do that, that's on him. I'm not anybody to tell him yes or no on that, but it's just interesting. The world we live in right now it's just, I don't know, it seems like we live in two different realities.
Nathan, have you had conversations about your own safety as a candidate with your family, your campaign staff? Is it changing any venues that you come to, any events? Are you campaigning as usual, or have you made adjustments in light of what happened over the last 2 months in Minnesota and also in Utah?
If I walk 10 seconds slower in Iraq, I would be here. That's the way it is for me. So for me, I'm going to keep being me because that's what people need. People need a fighter. People need someone that's not scared. People need someone who can say the things that need to be said when they need to be said, so they know we're not going to bow down. And so for me, am I fearful? Me, no. My wife, my family, they're always fearful. Anytime I talk to anybody, they're fearful. There's people in this world that disagree with me that want to take my life out. That's the world we live in. I'm not going to ever live in fear. I'm not going to bow down to anybody. I'm going to stand up for Iowans. I'm going to stand up for people, and I'm going to keep being me because that's what people need right now.
Preparation for the 2026 elections, how do you think state Democrats should, perhaps hone their messaging more? Or what do you think need to change?
I think when we need to talk about working class people, right? We need to talk about pocketbook issues. Like the reality of the world is Trump won Iowa, he's going to make life more affordable. He's going to lower the grocery prices. And we're seeing the grocery prices go back up. We're seeing life be hard for people to actually live in this state and live in this country. We're seeing cancer rates crazy. I think at the end of the day, we need to sit here and talk about ways to make life more affordable in Iowa. We need to work for working class people that make the majority of the state up, that are doing all they can to survive in the state, that it seems like it's getting harder and harder and harder when we're the 49th in the economy and #1 in cancer. I think we need to come together and have talking points about how we help the working class and helping them.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.